Welcome to the Embodying Excellence Podcast. I'm your host, Carlo, and I'm here with Brenden. How are you, Brenden?
Yes, you are. I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. Another big week in the books.
Oh, yes, 100%.
I hit back the last few days this week, and I got a massage the other day, and now my back is fucked. Absolutely cooked.
Yeah.
So spent that there are things that I normally should be able to do, I'm not able to do, and that's very annoying. What about you? How's your training been?
Yeah, it's been good, really intense. I had a massage as well on Thursday, and every time I have a massage, frees me up a bit, and then I push the shit out of myself afterwards, and then a couple of days later, I feel it.
I bet a lot of you can relate.
Legs cooked, quads cooked, hemis cooked.
That's what we're doing.
Glutes cooked.
Everything just cooked. You might as well be a kitchen because you're about to cook.
Yeah, exactly.
And with that being said, we're discussing why you ruck, eh?
Yeah, exactly. And despite all that, I still did my ruck yesterday, and I still did it today.
How many days are you up to now?
751.
Goodness gracious me! Talk about consistency. That's 2 years. That's almost 2 years.
Yeah, a bit over 2 years. Yeah.
That's bananas. Absolutely bananas. That's unreal. Like, it's 2 years and a month. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, walk us through why you started rucking and like what inspired you to ruck, and then what kept you disciplined and kept you focused on continuing.
Well, first I heard about rucking when I was listening to an episode of Reality F.
Great podcast.
Yeah, 100%. Recommend it after this one. Listen to that one. I was listening to a podcast. Andy had on as a guest the actual founder of a company called Go Ruck, which was an American company that made the actual rucks themselves. Mm-hmm. And he talked about the benefits of it and their journey and all that. And I said, after contemplating for like a few days, I said that, you know what, I'll just get one. I'll try it. At first I started with like the minimum weight just so I could get the hang of it. I didn't know really what to expect because I hadn't done anything like that before. So I think it was like a 15 kilo plate or something like that. Mm. And then we just kept going with it pretty much. I just said, I had developed a habit of like a walk with intent for a few months, if not a year beforehand. So as part of my morning routine, I've started to implement this instead as a straight swap pretty much and haven't looked back.
Man, having a ruck on your back, if you know what a ruck feels like, they're heavy. Like, it's heavy. It's like, imagine you just lost 15 kilos and then you chuck on a ruck, you're basically where you started. And if you didn't like how heavy you were before you lost all the weight, you're not going to like how heavy you feel with the ruck on. Yeah. And with the ruck itself, walk me through the daily routine that then gets you continuing to do the ruck. I mean, 752 days is a long time. Like, it's a long time. And so there aren't a lot of people out there that do anything for 752 days straight, let alone exercise in a certain way. So talk us through the daily mindset, building that habit and keeping the focus and consistency on.
Yeah, I've just made it as part of my routine, and the fact that I don't know what my mentally would be if I don't do it, to be honest. It's just that much of a routine now. It's just habit. It was just a matter of doing it once and twice and 3 times, just taking it one day at a time and just mentally engaging myself to get it done, no matter what the situation is. Like, I mean, there's been days where I haven't really felt like doing it after like a leg session or something like that, or when it's really raining hard, it's obviously puts you off a bit, but once you get through it a little bit, and once you've done it before, it makes you almost want to engage in it when it's raining hard because it's a bit more of a challenge. And then after it, you feel so much better because you've overcome that obstacle.
That's awesome. And I imagine it's built your strength, it's built your endurance, it's built your cardio. Like, talk us through the benefits of hitting that ruck every day.
Yeah, mainly they've been they've been both mental and physical. I'll start with the mental aspect. It's increased my discipline because I get it done no matter what, and it just, like I just touched on, discipline's about getting it done regardless of how you feel. Just becomes part of the habit and there's no excuses with it. The self-belief, there's been that many times I've overcome that little sort of internal conflict where you sort of want to give up on it or just stop a bit earlier or whatever. And by getting over that hurdle and then finishing it off, you've got belief there that you can do something. Like, for example, I went to Bathurst for work earlier this year, and whether it was a wise decision or not, I decided to go around the track with my mate from work with the ruck on. That time I was with 27 kilos. Now I'm up to 40. Luckily, I wasn't up to 40 then because I think there'd be some sirens ringing because it was pretty intense.
Yeah, from ER to the ER, right?
Yeah. Because it was pretty intense. Like, my quads were burning. And then going down, that was going up the hill. And then going down the hill, because of the weight of the ruck is going against you, you've got to stop yourself from going forward and falling freaking face planting. So I relied on, like, I slowed myself down. I learnt that from doing the river walk and that down that sort of hill after the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I was practicing that before, so I did the same thing with that, but it's a bit steeper there, so you have to try and slow it down really to shit house. Then I relied on my calves for that as well. And then the next day I freaking felt my calf right. So
calves just got swole.
Yeah. Then after I got through that, that was done. I've crossed the finish line. I was relieved. There was a weight off my shoulders literally. So I gained a lot of self-belief from that because I didn't think I'd be able to do it. Like, say 4 or 5 years ago, I would no way would have done that. Even at the start when I started doing it all halfway through, so gradually built my strength up through doing it and my mental resilience through doing them things.
Did you get to stand on the podium when you finished?
Oh no, no, I'll have to go up the stairs with that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll talk to the guys upstairs and make sure that you get to stand on the podium the next time. So you're going to go back to Bathurst, do it again with 40 kilos, you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon I will. Yeah, I'll build up with that. So other than that, obviously resilience comes through that as well, and confidence because I've said to myself, I've got to do it, and I continually prove to myself that I've done it. So I've got confidence for that. And then really it's been my core, because I've got to engage my core through the actual process, or you sort of find yourself moving forward and not having the correct posture, and it helps your posture, your upper back, because you need to engage that to help it upright, and just strengthens it as well. And I've had that transfer over to the gym in pull-ups and stuff like that, and back workouts and all sorts of things. So your back obviously comes in handy, your back strength.
Absolutely, and just that stability as well. Like, you feel as though that every time you do a ruck, despite how exhausting it might be, like with that upright posture, with that strength in both your core and your back and your legs, it helps you feel like a new human. Hey, it's transformative in that sense, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. It's so good at the end of it. The feeling like you feel lighter as a feather. You're moving around all day, and it sets the tone for the day because you've got that in your mind that you've accomplished something really hard, and then everything else is relative. It's easier, like in comparison to that sometimes. Obviously it depends on what you're tackling, but a hard task is always good for your mind and physically as well.
It's a good metaphor too, isn't it? Like, because in life sometimes you have a lot of weight on your shoulders, and a lot of the time it can just bog us down, and so we might be either consistently moving with other things with this weight on our shoulders, or we just feel stuck or we feel trapped because the weight might be a little bit too much. And so I feel as though that what you've just explained is a really good metaphor for life, because when you are moving and you are pursuing something, there is going to be weight on your shoulders. And so doing the ruck every day, you just get used to that fact that there is going to be weight on you, regardless of whether you lead an easy life, whether you lead a challenging life, whether you lead 100 people, whether you just lead yourself. There's always going to be that weight of responsibility, that weight of pressure. And so by using the ruck, you're creating this habit, this pathway for yourself to always be able to conquer something. Meanwhile, you've got a heavy load on you. Like, would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, 100% it's accurate, because you've got like the pressure there on all times as well. That's relatable in terms of your weight on your shoulders, and you've got to force your mind to get through them little hurdles, them internal conflicts you have with yourself, and then you see the light at the end of the day. And that's with everything. If you push through something, no matter how tough it is at the time, you will ultimately get through it if you keep going through and taking it head on, rather than sort of going around it.
Yeah, and the weight's directly on you, like you said, and so there isn't any way around having weight directly on you, which is why a ruck is a really good training apparatus, because you can move around the gym and not follow the workout plan. Like, you might not feel like doing Bulgarian split squats, for example, and instead you might do leg extensions, or you might not feel like doing barbell squats, so you do kettlebell squats or whatever. Right? But there's always an alternative if your mind allows it, right? And so yes, there's that no options mentality, right? That zero options mentality, but at the same time with a ruck there isn't, like, because the ruck's going to be on you. You can squat, you can bench, you can do whatever you like, but if you have a ruck on you, that's the weight that's going to be on you. There's no other way around it. So you either got to finish with the ruck on, or you quit and you take the ruck off. And so you're not going to take the ruck off, because as soon as you start, you finish. And so you are able to do more than you think you're capable of. And the ruck is a really good example of that, because the weight's directly on you and you just keep moving, your leg one foot in front of the other, and your mind quits before your body. So when you know all these things, then using a ruck, doing a challenge, it does become that little bit easier, because if your mind has already contemplated victory, then it's then the body's duty to ensure that happens. And so showing up is not half the battle. Showing up is literally none of the battle. It's literally, you decided to do a ruck workout, good, you're going to keep a promise to yourself. And so showing up is mandatory. It's not a battle. And so the battle is actually doing the thing that you said that you're going to show up for. And at the same time, winning that battle is keeping that promise to yourself and going, okay, I committed myself to a ruck workout today, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Yes, I've just completely bullied my legs, and yes, I feel awful, and I haven't eaten all day because I work and I have responsibilities, but this is my hour now, my hour of power. I'm going to do this ruck. And you do the ruck, it feels awesome, not because the ruck is done, but you kept that promise to yourself.
Yeah.
That feels more empowering than finishing the workout. Like, when you do a hard workout, whether it's with a ruck, whether it's weights and things like that, you don't just feel good because the workout was hard. You feel good because you got through it.
Yeah.
And despite your mind telling you otherwise throughout that workout, you did it anyway. No compromises, no excuses, no quitting. And that's what that feeling of elation boils down to. It doesn't just boil down to the actual endorphins that come out whilst you're doing a really hard workout. Yes, that plays a factor, but it's not all of it, because a lot of the time you can still get a great workout and still feel like shit. And so if you go, oh my God, I had this incredible workout, but I knew that I could have done 5 more reps, you're probably going to concentrate more on those 5 more reps that you didn't do, right? And so, all the endorphins are out there, you're feeling great. Oh my God, you did an awesome job. No, I didn't get those 5 reps done. And so that's completely plausible. So that feeling of, oh my God, I've done absolutely everything in my power to ensure that I've completed this workout to the fullest of my ability, that feels the best. And one of the best ways for that feeling to occur is when you do a really hard ruck, whether it's a straight line road, whether you're in the mountains, whether you're on the sand dunes. Like, try doing Trinola sand dunes with a ruck on, that would be brutal. And so a lot of different things play out in your mind, but if you know that, hey, I committed myself to this and this is exactly what I'm going to do, here's how I'm going to do it, and now it's done, dude, that's the best feeling.
Yeah, it's about setting that standard for yourself as well. I mean, that's become the standard, like, to get it done every day, and everything other than that, I wouldn't be sort of abiding by that standard, and that transfers across to everything. Because I think when I'm doing legs, hey, this morning I've done my ruck, I'll push through the ruck when I was in this mental struggle. My standard is to get it done. And if I don't get it done today, if I don't push through every rep, no matter how hard it is, how big the struggle is, no matter how shit I feel, that's not abiding by my standard.
The ruck pushes you there.
Yeah.
Like, imagine 752 days of a ruck, and that ruck every day is going, hey, I'm weighing on you.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna toy with your mind. Hey, this is heavy and you know it, and I know you're tired, but you know what, put me on anyway and start walking.
Yeah.
And then you go and start walking, and a lot of the time you find that the ruck isn't doing that, it's an inanimate object, obviously.
Yeah.
And so you're just toying with that yourself. But at the same time, like, just to get your mind in the zone, sometimes you do need to toy with yourself a little bit, and gaslight yourself into believing that, hey, you know what, I can get this workout done. And you go and get it done. And so the ruck, I think, is one of the best metaphors to use when it comes to working out and keeping consistent, because walking is what humans were partially designed to do.
Yeah.
Like, we walked everywhere from back in whenever we slept in caves and did all those things, right? To now, like, we are walking, talking machines. And so to be able to consistently do that every day with heavy objects, that's human. And so, but it's also very powerful too, because you're walking through the turmoil, you're walking through the struggle, you're walking through the chit chat in your mind. And so, and you don't let that dominate you or diverge you into a direction that doesn't allow for you to finish. You just go ahead and you go, fuck you, I'm going to finish. And that's exactly what you do. Yeah,
that's right. And it brings intent into it as well, because you have no choice but to be intentful with a ruck. Whereas with a walk, you can fuck around and, just be doing like a really slow walk, and there's no sort of resistance there or anything. So there's that comes to mind as well.
guys, get yourself a ruck, test yourself, and build your strength, build your capacity, build your cardio, whether it's for you, whether it's for your lady, whatever you decide to do. A ruck is a really good way to really test yourself, to measure your strength, to measure your endurance, to measure your grit, your resilience, and build something of yourself. Because I think without the ruck now, Brenden will have a stroke. And so I don't implore you guys to mold your entire identity with the ruck, but at the same time, it's one of those things that could really, really benefit you when you build the discipline, build the focus and the consistency to ruck every single day. You'll get jacked as Brenden, and you'll also have the same consistent mindset as Brenden, because he can tell you 5 years ago he was a completely different human, and at the same time now, since he's bought the ruck and he's been doing it for the last 2 years, like, he's on a different level, he's on a different gear. And so, and I don't just say this as his coach, I also say it as his friend, like, he's on another level. And so guys, if you're putting things off or you're getting into a groove where things begin to spiral, get yourself a ruck. Just remember how strong you really are, and every single day, do it for a year. Ruck every single day for a year and tell me that the outcomes in your life don't change. And I can tell you, if they don't change, you probably didn't do it all year, and you probably fucked around a few days as well. Do it for a year consistently. Do anything for a year consistently.
Yeah, that's right. So try and get consistent with it.
Yeah, just do anything for a year that's going to serve you in some way, and watch things change for you. And I use this as an example for myself as well, because there are things that I've been doing for years that haven't served me, and it's gotten me to where I am at the moment. And so now changing these habits, and I have a ruck of my own which I don't use, which is absolutely criminal. And so now after this episode, I am going to use it, because now I've put it out there and my word is my bond, and now I need to use my ruck on the daily. And so understanding that building your strength will not only help you, but it'll also then guide you in the right way. And at the same time, things won't feel so heavy anymore, because you'll be like, oh man, I carry a ruck every day. Like, and I walk with a ruck. I always walk with weight, and I know how the pressure feels, but I know that I'm stronger than that, and I know that I've overcome my mind, and I can overcome anything else.
Yeah, that's right. There's been like, in terms of overcoming your mind, like, we go back to sort of tough situations I've had to do it in before. Mine was really like freaking. There's been a few times torrential rain, but this time was freaking really torrential. I was doing it, and that, I think it was my first day of 75 hard or something that day, and I just remember how torrential it was. My work shorts were freaking soaked to the shit house. There was suds that were going from my work shorts down my legs, how saturated they were. I just remember seeing these suds on all this white substance on my legs, and I was thinking, what the fuck is this? And then I realised what it was, and I said, oh shit. and freaking at the end of it, you feel like freaking. I actually felt like lighter that day. Sometimes it has a sort of opposite effect. You think it'd weigh you down more, but I felt more freer that day, believe it or not.
I definitely believe you, and that's what a ruck does. Like, it helps you, it liberates you. It's that feeling of climbing up a mountain and going, oh my god, I've made it to the top. Like, I've walked up a number of mountains, and it's fucking hard. And so is walking with a ruck. And so by getting yourself a ruck, you're able to put that benefit of climbing a huge mountain or overcoming a huge hill just by having the weight on your shoulders and walking every single day. Do it on the daily, and just build that discipline, build that strength, build that grit. That's all I encourage you to do.
Yeah, it transfers to everything as well, like we said before. Every part of your life.
That sums us up. And thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Embodying Excellence Podcast. go get a ruck, build your strength, build your confidence.
Yeah. Like, share and subscribe, please. Thank you.
See you all on the next episode.
Nice, thank you.